Hello, everyone. This is Matt Arant from Arant Academic Planning. This is another installment of our virtual information series where I'm joined by mission representatives from schools all across the United States, Canada, and Europe. These schools are designed to represent a wide variety of options, whether it's by geographic location, size, institution type, whether it's a liberal arts college, a state flagship university, a women's college, a religiously affiliated one, and everything in between. And tonight I am joined by Corin Porter from Merrimack College. Take it away, Corin.
Hi, Matt. Thank you very much for inviting me. My name is Corin Porter. I'm a Senior Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admission for Merrimack College. We are a small to medium sized undergrad private institution just outside of Boston, so an amazing spot to be a college student in general, and I'm really excited to tell you all about it. There are some very new and exciting things that I'm not sure any other school is going to be doing. For instance, we are resetting the pricing on some of our bachelor's degrees. If you are interested in pursuing, because you love it, a bachelor's degree in the humanities, in government, or in creative art and design, you can do that at Merrimack with a tuition cost that is roughly a public school cost, but the experience of a private school. We have added in our over 100 different undergraduate programs, a BA and a BS in architecture, and the BS goes directly into an MS in architecture because you need that in order to be a licensed architect. We have guaranteed housing on campus for all of our students, including graduate students. And we just have two new dorms, honors housing, that open up this fall. We'll be housing more than 300 students with air conditioning. And we'll have, among other things, space for um, students to exist outside of the classroom and outside of the bedroom, that third space, that important place. We've added a new lecture hall. It is a building with the five largest lecture halls that we have on campus, between 120 and 250 students in each of those five, but those are the five largest ones that we have. We have the new residence halls. It is an exciting time to be coming to Merrimack. We've been noticed, which is always nice. But of the many accolades that we've gotten named, the one that I like most is the bottom right. It's not an easy time to be a college, but we are known as one of the fastest growing institutions. That's because we think differently, we do things differently, and it is exciting. Overall, we've got about 4,100 undergrads. So student to teacher ratio about 13 to 1, average class size about 25. You're not going to be lost in an enormous sea of students. You're not going to make one enemy in the dorm and be in every class with them for the entire rest of your career. We are adding on more and more graduate programs. In fact, we have our first cohort of doctoral candidates who are starting this fall. And we are in an amazing spot to be a college student. We are not in the heart of downtown Boston. We are not out far, far away, but we're about half an hour or so outside of downtown Boston. We are in a suburb called North Andover, a top 15 safest college town in the US every year, and we're the spot in town. We break up more than 100 different majors into different schools. So all of our business majors, if you want to go into sports management and communication, if you want to go into marketing, if you want to go into entrepreneurship, international business, hospitality, all of those and more, including the MBA program, accounting, finance, those are in our Girard School of Business. Our three new programs, the humanities, the government, the creative art and design, which are $17,000 in tuition, as well as all of your other programs that are traditionally going to be found in a liberal arts education, your mathematics, your bio, your chemistry, your biochemistry, environmental studies, psych, neuroscience. All of those and more are going to be in our School of Arts and Sciences. We have a variety of different engineering programs, civil engineering, mechanical, electrical, computer engineering. We have electromechanical in case you want to play with robots. We also have in our comp sci program a degree in computer science. We have a degree in cybersecurity. There are a lot of options as well as construction management within the School of Engineering and Computational Sciences. Our most popular and competitive major, all on its own, nursing. We built our nursing center in 2020. It's stunning. The outcomes are amazing, but the School of Nursing and Health Sciences covers more than just that. There are a lot of careers in that field, including pre-PA, pre-OTP, pre-DPT. There are a lot of different options where if you know that you are going for a certain grad school with prerequisites to match, we can get you in a health sciences BS within our School of Nursing and Health Sciences that is going to take care of all of those prerequisites and get you the experiential hands-on education that makes you a strong candidate. If you are interested in teaching, and I was once a teacher, we love to see it. We have an amazing education program. We also have a social work program. We have human development. We have criminology, criminal justice. We have forensic science. There are a lot of programs in our School of Education and Social Policy. And those, if you are interested in continuing on for a master's in teaching, a master's in education, a master's in social work, will be in our sixth school, the one that is exclusively for graduate students, the Graduate School of Counseling and Social Work. But why is Merrimack special? You're looking at in your college search a variety of schools. One of them is that we want, based on your application, to be able to invite you to some of our cohorts, some of our academic and social groups before you even come. For instance, we're one of two Augustinian Catholic schools in the entire country. Austin Scholars is one of our signature programs. It's a living learning community where students will dedicate at least 2 hours a week to a volunteer service group of their choice from among a list. They create the schedule of when they want to go. We provide the transportation. They take in their first 2 years a series of 4 theology courses together as a group, and they live together in the dorms. They've self-selected to say, I want my college experience to involve theology, involve giving back community service, and surround myself with other people that are interested in those same things. So, based on the things that we read in your application, we might invite you to a cohort before you even set foot on campus. We also have a real emphasis on the hands-on experiential part. It's what makes a Merrimack education in a lot of ways. 90% of our students are going to do some kind of co-op, a full-time job for a semester while still earning college credit, an internship in their field, or some kind of lab of research. We have more than 30 different study abroad opportunities. We added semester at sea last year. So if you want to do that, it's 3 continents, it's 10 or more countries, and you're on a cruise ship somehow. Um, and then we want to make it personalized in the classroom as well. So almost every school you're looking at, if you're interested in multiple things, will allow you to double major or major in a minor. But we've actually formalized the ability to, when we see students create their own combined major. A lot of students we noticed were taking classes in our media and communications, which is in our School of Arts and Sciences, but also taking classes in double majoring and major minor in our Girard School of Business with our sports management. They were interested in maybe broadcast journalism, maybe becoming an agent, maybe working in the front office of a pro sports team. Now we have a combined major, a sports management and communications major, which is amazing because we have our own TV station on campus. We have our own radio station on campus. We have D1 sports. We're in Boston where you can't throw a rock without accidentally hitting a pro team or a minor league team. The opportunities are endless. And because we noticed that students were doing it, we formalized and added it. You could be a trailblazer. You could be the first person who sits at the center of a Venn diagram and make the education your own. I've mentioned that we have a pre-therapy, a pre-doctor of physical therapy, a pre-this, a pre-that. If you want to be a physician's assistant, you know there are prerequisites you have to do. We also have a series of accelerated programs. So in 5 years, a combined bachelor's and master's. We have one for social work. We have a very popular one where you can get a bachelor's in exercise science and a master's in athletic training, 5 years combined. The whole point is that we want you to study the things you are most interested in, whatever those turn out to be. And we're going to make sure that you are succeeding in the classroom. We have a dedicated academic advisor who's going to make sure that whatever your major, and you just talk to them, you can change your major up to the end of your second year for the most part, outside of nursing, and still be on track to graduate in 4 years. They're helping make sure that when they build your schedule with you, when they build your first semester schedule in the fall for your incoming freshman year for you, it is a schedule that is going to fulfill requirements. They're going to say, this class major and a minor, or fulfills both of these, or have you been interested in doing a gen ed this semester? This fits really well. We have an entire first year experience seminar that is built for our students. We have a lot of academic success that is both class specific. I need help with this essay, this bio class, this stats or pre-cal. But we also have academic support that is, I need help learning time management skills with executive functioning. I did really well in high school, so I breezed through and never really understood why people did outlines for papers. But it's no longer a 3 page paper, it's a 10 page paper, and I can't just get it done the night before. Someone help me. We have things that are going to support you broadly in the classroom, and we're also going to support you broadly outside of the classroom. In addition to your academic counselor, you also have a career counselor, someone who says, oh, I heard you told me you were interested in this as a potential field. We have an alumni speaker. We have an on-campus event. When you are lining up your internships and your co-ops, the summer between your sophomore year, your junior year, the summer after your junior year, they are working with you to make sure that you meet our alumni, that you know how to do an interview. Every resume for every field is different. An engineering resume and an English teacher resume look nothing alike. We're going to make sure that yours look like the kind that they need to be. We have LinkedIn Learning. We have a professional development retreat that people talk about in glowing terms, the same kind of way that people talk about doing a semester abroad. And we have a growing alumni network because every year there is another talented group of students who become professionals in whatever their field is. I've mentioned something like 90% of our students take part in a co-op or an internship, and that is across all majors. Some majors, nursing, education, have a lot of hours built into their curriculum. But across every one of our majors, these are some of the companies, some of the organizations that regularly, as a pipeline, take in Merrimack students while they are still students. We have an organization called Handshake, where jobs can be posted by companies just for specific groups of people, and Merrimack is one of those groups of people, both as a student and as an alumni. You have access to an incredible wealth of opportunities for hands-on experiential learning. And it's not just about the classroom and afterwards. It's about all of the time that you spend as a human being on campus. We have more than 80 different student-run clubs and organizations. We have 28 Division I sports, and those are growing. We have club sports and intramural sports. There are so many different ways to explore the things about which you are passionate and maybe even discover things that you didn't know you loved, but you got the opportunity to try because there was a club, because someone in class mentioned it, because there was an event on campus. We have all sorts of things for you to try, and you're going to find your whatever your group is, whatever your crowd is. Like I said, we have D1 sports. You might know us from winning the Hockey East this year. We are the first number 8 seed to go all the way through, upset a number 1 seed, take it to the finals. And again, we're half an hour outside of Boston. The finals and the semifinals were both at TD Garden. So we were able to bring hundreds of students down to the garden for the semifinal and the final, both of which we won. Our goalie got signed by the Bruins. It's about as good a story as you can ask for a Boston sports team. Taking part in the culture of sports on campus, whether it is as a D1 athlete or it is I'm playing 3-on-3 basketball, I'm playing dodgeball, I'm playing against other students on campus in intramural sports. Something like 35 or 40% of our students are partaking in some kind of organized sport as a participant. With that many students having a game this week, a lot of times the whole campus, our class goes to see them, whatever game it is. It is an amazing, vibrant community, and the time you're going to have is incredible. It's also the easiest application you are going to have. We're on the Common App, and there is nothing supplemental. It is a free application, no 50, 60, $70, and no fee waiver to go about. It's just free. We are also test blind. That's something that has been a policy at Merrimack for far longer than COVID, um, more than 10 years. 96% of our students are either employed or in a graduate program within 9 months of finishing at Merrimack. It does not seem to matter whether you took the SAT one time and you got a 1600, you took it 10 times, you struggled every time, you never took it at all. After 4 years at Merrimack, you do well. So we don't care. We don't see it. Don't pay them to send it to us. It is the same for transfer. It is a very, very easy um, common app, nothing supplemental. Um, there are as few barriers to entry as we could make it. We've removed all of the obstacles. And based on the cost of the major, again, Merrimack is doing different tiered pricing for different majors. Having the opportunity to spend $17,000 on pursuing a bachelor's in humanities with a concentration in creative writing, or a bachelor's in creative art and design with a concentration in theater or music for $17,000 at a private school and receive a scholarship, a merit scholarship on top of that, is an opportunity I don't think you're going to find in many other places. So all of our students incoming are going to receive either a D1 athletic scholarship because they are a recruited athlete, or they're going to receive a merit scholarship. These are what we had last year, but we are going to be changing for this upcoming year. We are adding different majors to different prices, but this is just an idea of tuition, what it's going to cost, knowing that you are going to get a merit scholarship of some amount when you are accepted. We actually have certain majors that we are trying to grow. So we're guaranteeing a base $20,000 merit scholarship. And then on the strength of your application, you can earn an additional $5,000 to $20,000 on top of that. And the entire point of it is, as I mentioned, 96% of our students are either employed or in a graduate program within 9 months of finishing a Merrimack. The time spent here, the people you meet, the professors, the mentors that you have, the connections you make, the experiences that you gain, the skills, all translate into, and Georgetown did a survey a couple years ago of about 4,500 schools across the United States and said, how are your alumni doing into their careers? 10 to 15 years into our career, Merrimack students are doing pretty well. We were 90th out of 4,500 schools in our average salary for Merrimack graduates in their career. Now, I know that we've mentioned housing on campus before, and we are guaranteeing it for all 4 years. We also guarantee that every year you choose to live on campus, we have a housing grant for you. We don't require it. We don't require anyone to live on campus at all. But something like 80 or 85% of our freshmen, I believe, last year chose to live on campus. With the opening of two new honors dorms that have air conditioning, I can't imagine that number is going to be going down either way. But in the end, the college search is about finding the right place for you. And if you have the opportunity to visit schools in Boston, We have tours Monday through Saturday and would very much love for you to come and check us out, even during the summer. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Corin. A lot of great information. So I just have a few questions, if that's okay with you.
Yeah,
So
of course.
at the very end, you mentioned honors dorms, right? Can you
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about the honors programs that y'all offer at Merrimack?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mentioned a couple of different learning living communities. The honors program is one of those. So those students will take a series of classes together during their time at Merrimack, taught by honors faculty, and it is going to be a mix of gen ed classes where it is regardless of major. Honors students in the engineering program and the nursing program and the humanities program are going to take that class. And it is going to be some upper level honors classes within your major, also taught by the honors faculty. And that'll be over the course of your 4 years. Um, it is a living learning community, so you are going to be in dorms that are a little bit nicer. In fact, it's one of the few ways that the Austin Scholars are pretty much the few ways to get a an apartment of four-person suite freshman year on campus. There are opportunities on campus and off campus for programming. You will have a research project that you are going to with your advisor in junior year build and in your senior year present and defend. And if you need resources to go out and, um, you know, pursue something, investigate or research something, there are funds to help with that as well. But the honors program is for students who want to challenge themselves, who want to go deeper into their classes. So the difference that I like to say is um, we have students who we invite to the honors program who are incredibly intelligent, really, really strong, can cut it academically, but who choose not to. And the reason is I was an English history guy myself. If I was invited to the Merrimack Honors Program, I would probably have to take a math class at some point, and the math class could be an honors class where I'm not sitting in the back of a lecture and taking this to pass some gen ed. I am involved. I am engaged. It is designed specifically as an honors to be more interactive, more challenging. I might have to present and teach the class like one unit, one day, as an example of the difference between an honors class and a non-honors class of the same section is just the level of engagement. Um, and so I think it's for the students who are looking to challenge themselves more. There's stuff in the classroom for that. There is the dorm component. There are activities. Your academic advisor for all 4 years is going to be an honors member of the faculty. Um, those are kind of some of the aspects of the honors program.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And you mentioned also that there are no test requirements for anything, regardless of what school or college they apply to within the
Correct.
larger institution, right? But you also mentioned how competitive, and you're not alone, how competitive nursing is and how competitive engineering can be in computer science.
Mhm.
Can you share with us what would be a academically an academic profile if a student wants to apply to your nursing program without the added uh, I guess number dimension of a test score. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
of course. Absolutely. So as kind of a bare minimum threshold for eligibility due to nursing standards of accreditation, 3.0 or higher GPA career. We want to see for English, at least three math. Really, we want to see math after Algebra 2. So
Okay.
some students, and I say that because some students who are really, really good at math and science will come into like ninth grade at pre-cal, 10th grade, they'll take calculus, and then it's like, okay, well, I'm at calculus and I've only taken 2 years. So what do you want from me? So the answer
Sure.
is any class of math after Algebra 2 and 3 years of a lab science. And the big one is no C minus or lower as a final grade in any math or science. So
Okay.
even if it was a dual enrollment or an AP bio in ninth grade and you got a C minus as your final grade, which is impressive because you were a ninth grader in a dual enrollment college class,
Yeah.
it is ineligible. Now, the average nursing student at Merrimack is probably closer to like a 3.6 or a 3.7.
Hmm.
Um, the overall outside of the nursing program, there are no majors that have really specific hard requirements. Obviously, if you are going into engineering, if you're going into computer science, and you are looking at a 12th grade geometry, where in the first quarter you're getting a D minus, we're asking for trouble there.
Yeah.
But there are no requirements hard and fast. And in fact, on our various engineering department pages for each major, we have a 4-year curriculum map, just as an example of what you would take in order to graduate with a degree in civil engineering, electrical, mechanical, what have you. And your starting point as your first semester can be pre-calculus or calculus. So it's not like you are precluded from a major because you haven't taken that.
Oh,
If you haven't taken physics, you can still be an engineer,
yeah.
and you will still graduate on time. We have that course set out for you there.
Okay.
Um, what it really does is it gives us more room to look at you and how you're going to fit in the community, rather than you boil down to like a 2 or 3 digit ACT or SAT number. And it also is one less thing for you to pay to send to us. Um, Now, while we don't look at SAT or ACT in terms of any admissions, any scholarship, any honors invitation, we absolutely do accept AP scores, a
Hmm.
3 or higher on any AP score, and you'll have credit coming in. Exactly what it translates to, we can do a transfer credit assessment. Any IB, SL, or HL. I believe it's a 4 or higher. It might be a 5 or higher. And any dual enrollment class, if you have a C minus or higher, you are bringing in college credit. So while we don't use standardized tests for the admissions process, if you take an AP or an IB exam,
Yeah.
send those scores in
Use those
because
tests related to a specific course. Yeah.
yes, yes. And that gives you flexibility, whether it's graduating a semester or a year early, it is double majoring, it's major and a minor. You can talk about it with your advisor, but you know before you come in what the 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 classes you have already, the work you've earned, what that will give you credit for.
Okay. And my final question, so whenever I talk to reps from schools in Metro Boston or Philly or DC where there are a bunch of schools
Mhm.
relatively close to each other, you always hear about consortiums or students here can take classes there. Do y'all have anything specific at, because I know y'all are on the North Shore, not Boston proper, but
Correct.
are there any specific, I guess, informal or formal partnerships you have with other Metro Boston schools, whether it's classes or maybe internships or co-ops? Like, does that work? Does that happen for y'all?
No, not in the sense of doing that while you're still a Merrimack student. What we
Mhm.
are building a lot more into, and I'm actually really excited about because I've been able to help with personally, is articulation agreements with graduate programs.
Okay, yeah.
So, for instance, if you are interested in going to a Farm D program, if you are interested in, some of these pre-dental program or a dental program or a vet program or an OTP program, we have agreements with a variety of grad schools, even some like DO and MD programs that have
Hmm.
said, we understand what the caliber of a Merrimack graduate is. So we are going to guarantee X number of spots each year for the top Merrimack graduates and guarantee interviews for any other Merrimack graduate who hits this threshold. So the
Yeah.
graduate programs are going to set whatever they want for the GPA requirements, for the prerequisites. But if you hit those, and your goal probably should be to do well anyway, you know that, I want to be in a doctor of physical therapy program. I know that if I go to Merrimack, I take these classes, I get a 3.8, I have a guaranteed interview with this. I know that if I want to go to a Farm D program, I go to Merrimack, I take these undergraduate classes, I have a 3.7. I have a guaranteed interview, or I have a 3.9 on the best of my class. I have a guaranteed spot at these programs.
Mhm.
So 90% of our students are going to do a co-op, an internship, a lab research in the Boston area, probably not at another school, but at a private company, a government organization, a hospital, some kind of research, anything they want to do. There's so much opportunity while they're a student. And then afterwards, if they know that they're going to a graduate program, we already
Mhm.
have articulation agreements set up so that they have a end goal in sight. I know what I need to do. I know what threshold I need to meet. And now it's just up to me to take ownership of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we
'cause you're
have
a big
those
enough school.
expanding.
Yeah, you're big enough school as is, right? You don't because me coming from liberal arts college world, those smaller 1,500 to 2,500, you would see oftentimes that
Mhm.
like if I was in Western Mass, if I was at Amherst, I could maybe do something at UMass because it's the huge research university in the same area. So I was just kind of curious if they had that beyond just the articulation agreements you have with other schools.
Our And if you had posited that question to us 15 years ago, that is about the size and the boat we would have been in.
Yeah.
With our first doctoral cohort starting this fall, we're aiming for R2 in the
Okay.
next 5 years or so. We've got more than the required, I think it's $5 million or whatever in grant funding every year. We're adding those graduate programs. We're D1 in all of our sports now. So
Hmm.
I think the Merrimack of like 10 or 15 years ago that people might be familiar with is the Merrimack that probably would have needed to pool
Yeah.
resources with nearby colleges.
Hmm.
We're very much, I think, at the point where we can stand on our own, given that companies are borrowing, not even borrowing, renting lab space from us because we have the equipment and stuff, and they
Yeah.
want to do something that they don't have the capacity for. We're becoming one of those universities that people can come to because they need something that their company doesn't have access to.
Okay, great. So I think that's a great place to end. So on behalf of Corin and myself, thank you for joining us this evening. You saw on the slides, there's a lot of great information. Always the best point of contact. There we go, is having the just connecting with your admission counselor directly.
Yeah.
And there's also the
Mhm.
general uh, email site there. But like I
We
said, on
do
behalf
have
of, yeah.
a portal as well. So
Okay.
I am responsible for certain territories. So your high
Hmm.
school might be one of mine. Based on where your high school is, you can go on our Merrimack Find Your Counselor portal and look up based on your high school who your counselor is and their contact information as well.
Okay, great. So, like I said, on behalf of Corin and myself, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Have a great night.